Luke chapter 7. And I want you to read with me 2 verses. You with me? Luke chapter 7. Go with me to the to verse number 13. You with me? And when the Lord saw her, he had compassion on her and said to her, do not weep. Then he came up and touched the casket, and the burier stood still. And he said, young man, I say to you, arise. Okay, I feel like you guys are leaving me by myself this morning. I'm going to have to read it again. And when the Lord saw her, he had compassion on her and said to her, do not weep. Then he came up and touched the casket, and the burier stood still. And he said, young man, I say to you, arise. And the dead man sat up. I'm just going to read it up to there. I say to you, arise. I'm gonna preach under this subject. Give me 15 minutes and we're going to be blessed. The funeral is canceled. Come on. If you are here this morning, you better be grateful, because if you're here, it means that the funeral was canceled. The funeral was canceled. The reason why you're here this morning is because your funeral was canceled. Sit down, sit down. We're going to be blessed. We're going to be blessed. I'm going to go real quick around the story. Watch this. Watch this. Follow me, guys. Follow me. Give me 15 minutes of your attention. I want you to look at this woman with me this morning, okay? The text is very clear, Camila, and lets us know that she's a widow woman. She's walking behind the casket of her only son. I can see her walking, and I want you to see her with me this morning. I can see her walking. I can see her crying behind the casket, and I can see her mourning behind the casket. The entire town of Nain is walking with her, because they know the gravity of this death. They know what it means. And this is a widow's only son, which means, Belinda, that when she puts him on the ground, she's not just burying her only son. She's not just burying her only child. She will literally bury her future. Why? Because a woman in this time had to depend on a man. It had to be a father, it had to be a husband, or it had to be a son. The text doesn't tell us anything about the father. The text, but we know that her husband passed. Why? Because the text says she's a widow. She's walked this way before. She's been through this pain. It also means that her source of economic stability, it means her future. It means her dreams. It means her joy. It means her peace. She's walking not only behind her son, but her future is in the casket. Her husband is deceased, and her only son is in a casket. Okay. You're going to get it. You'll get it here in a couple of minutes. Her hope is in the casket. Her destiny is in the casket. Her future is in the casket. Her tomorrow is in the casket. Opportunity is in the casket. Stability is in the casket. Movement is in the casket. Her potential is in the casket. Her chances are in the casket. Her dreams are in the casket. Her baby is in the casket. Her peace is in the casket. Her joy is in the casket. Her meaning of life is in the casket. And she's on her way to the cemetery, which means it's the end of the road for her. Can you see her walking behind the casket? Can you see her grieving with tears behind the casket? Can you see her face with me? Can you see her walking to the cemetery? And while she's walking to the cemetery with her crowd, here comes Jesus. She's on her way to the end of the road for her. But here comes Jesus. She has her own crowd. They were with her when she was in pain before. They've been there once. This is her second time. But here comes Jesus with another crowd. And Jesus collides with the funeral service. And after Jesus touches, watch this. After Jesus touches what she's about to bury, the funeral gets canceled. Okay, I don't know who I'm speaking to this morning. You didn't get it. Jesus shows up. And what she thought was going to happen doesn't happen because Jesus showed up. Okay, what she thought was going to happen doesn't happen because Jesus showed up. What she thought was going to happen doesn't need to happen because Jesus showed up. And every time Jesus shows up, something happens. And every time Jesus shows up, he has the power to cancel stuff. He has the power to stop anything. Every time Jesus shows up. That's why the enemy thought he was going to have a party with your life. But Jesus came and he canceled it. I said the funeral is canceled. Can you lift up your hands and say with me, the funeral is canceled? Come on, the funeral is canceled. The funeral is canceled. The funeral was canceled. If there's a thirst, he can quench it. If there's a hunger, he can satisfy it. If there's a shame, he can remove it. If there's trouble, he can fix it. If there's a sickness, he can cure it. If there's a loss, he can return it. If there's a debt, he can pay. I said the funeral is canceled. If there's a weakness, he can give it strength. If there's emptiness, he can fill it. If there's a question, he can answer it. If there's pain, he can relieve it. If there's anxiety, he can assure it. If there's a burden, he can lift it. I said the funeral is canceled. If there's a trial, he can face it. If there's a curse, he can break it. If there's a battle, he can win it. If there's a soul, he can redeem it. If there's fault, he can forgive it. If there's destination, he can change it. If there's a cross, he can carry it. If there's guilt, he can put blood on it and cover it. I said the funeral is canceled. And if the funeral is canceled, if there's a lesson, you can learn it. If there's a mountain, you can climb it. If there's a valley, you can walk in it. If there's a storm, you can survive it. Is there something impossible for God? If there's a cross, you can carry it. If there's a test, you can pass it. If there's a sky, you can touch it. If there's a blessing, you can get it. If there's love, you can receive it. If there's hate, you can kill it. If there's a dream, you can live it, because the funeral got canceled. If there's an award, you can win it. If there's a calling, you can answer it. If there's a mission, you can complete it. If there's a job, you can work it. If there's a book, you can write it. If there's hell, you can miss it. If there's heaven, you can get there. If there's a devil, you can defeat it. And if there's a God, you can trust him. The funeral got canceled. Because if God is before me, who can be against me? Because hey, you know what we have to preach this? Because we're so good at saying we're good all the time. When people ask us, how you doing? Sister, how you been? We always say we're good. But most of the time, our hope is in a casket. Our joy is in a casket. Come on, don't play Halloween with me this morning, okay? Don't dress up this morning. Let's be honest. We have to be honest, because sometimes we try to look good, but our visions, our dreams can be in a casket. You might feel like a failure, but I came to tell you that whatever you thought was over is just the beginning. Okay, if you don't want it, I'm going to preach to someone that's connected on Facebook. Whatever you thought was over is just the beginning, because the funeral has been canceled. Call everyone that knows you. Text everyone that knows you. Let the world know that. Hey, okay, we're going to do something. I'm going to do something crazy this morning. Get your phones. Get your phones. Come on, get your phones. Get your phone. Who has Facebook? Get your phones. Get your phone. Come on, you're always on your phone. Get your phone. Okay, go to Facebook. This is your post. The funeral is canceled. Come on. All of a sudden, nobody wants to use the phone. Come on. Let the world know. And if they call you and they say, what do you mean by that? Explain to them what God did for you. You will be preaching by the end of this sermon to all your followers, to all your haters. Come on. There's haters there watching. Oh, a lot of hate. There's more haters. There's more haters than people that follow you. Come on. You might have 1 million followers or 1 million friends, and you only talk to 3. Or you know 3. And they don't even give it a like. 3 likes. 3 likes. That's all you get. 2.5, because that third one was like, I like it. The funeral is canceled. The funeral is canceled. Hey, let me tell you why the funeral got canceled. Because Jesus saw you from far away. You don't believe me? Verse 13 says, when the Lord saw her. Hey, allow God to see you this morning. Sometimes you have to be honest with God. And sometimes you have to ask God questions. Hey, watch this. If you've never asked God a question, you haven't lived. There's times in life where you have to say, why this? Why that? Why does it happen to me? Because in life, you'll face things that are going to make you ask. But the Lord wants you to know He saw you. That's why you're here. Come on, don't. Come on, can you be honest with God this morning and say, God, I'm broken. God, I'm confused. God, I'm lost. Hey, He sees your pain. He sees your anxiety. He sees that you're worried. But you know what's good about this, Camila? He doesn't only see you, He senses you. Because the verse says He had compassion. This is, and I went a little bit deeper and I found out about compassion. I'm going to close this, okay? Compassion in the Greek means, you ready for this? Bowel movement. Hello? Compassion means something moves. So every time you see Jesus, and you can read in Mark, Luke, or John, and every time it says, and Jesus moved with compassion means that he sensed her. Every time you have a bowel movement, you move. Hello? Every time something moves inside of you, you move. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Whenever the Lord has compassion, you are about to see him start moving. So if the text says he saw her, it also means he sensed her. That's why sometimes we come to church and we leave the same, because God wanted to touch you, because he knew exactly how you're feeling. But you decided not. And you know how he senses you? Because the preacher all of a sudden starts talking about you. Without me knowing anything. Because God senses you. The moment that you walk in the building, he already knows. So I'm going to repeat it again. When you come to church, don't play Halloween. There's people that play Halloween all year long for every service. Don't. Come to God just how you are. And if you already made it to here, it's because the funeral was canceled a long time ago. He saw you. And he knew that this Sunday morning you were going to be here. He knew whoever's connected, the funeral got canceled. Close your eyes. Everyone close your eyes. We bless everyone that's connected. We see you next Sunday. God bless you.